What if I told you that no matter how hard you work, you're still almost guaranteed not to become rich? Because that's the reality. 95% of people never break through. Not because they're lazy, but because they're playing the wrong game. Let's fix that today. Right now, 90% of global wealth is owned by just 10% of the population. Even more staggering, in the US, the top 1% owns 32% of all wealth. That's over 5 trillion. Meanwhile, the median net worth of the bottom 50%? Just 7,000. You could save 0.000 a year and still take decades to reach even modest wealth. But here's the real problem. Most people think being rich is about earning more. It's not. It's about keeping and growing wealth. The average American makes 0.000 a year, but saves less than 3%. That's $800 a year. Even with a 7% return, it would take 40 years to hit million. But the rich aren't relying on salaries. Jeff Bezos doesn't get paid a year. He builds assets that appreciate. Warren Buffett owns businesses and stocks that compound. Your paycheck won't make you rich. Assets will. If you don't own things that increase in value, real estate, equity, intellectual property, you're on a treadmill. And 95% of people never get off. You've likely been taught, work hard, get promoted, earn more. That's the script. But it's flawed. The average person changes jobs 12 times in their career and sees wage growth of about 3% per year. That means someone starting at 0.000 at age 25 will make about 0.000 by 65 before taxes. But inflation eats 2 to 3% of that. So real wage growth? Almost nothing. Meanwhile, housing, healthcare, and education costs have skyrocketed. A home that cost 0.000 in 1990 now costs over 0.000. Your salary can't keep up. Worse, relying on a paycheck creates dependency. Lose the job, lose everything. Look at teachers, nurses, first responders, essential workers, many living paycheck to paycheck. Why? Because they trade time for money, and there are only 24 hours in a day. The rich don't trade time for money. They build systems, businesses, software, rental units that generate income without their constant labor. Elon Musk doesn't get paid per Tesla sold. He owns equity. The shift from employee to owner is the single biggest leap most people never make. Here's a sobering stat. 63% of Americans can't pass a basic financial literacy test. They don't understand compound interest, inflation, or how stocks really work. And it shows. The average credit card holder carries $300 in debt at 21% APR. That's $300 a year in interest, money that could be compounding in a Roth IRA. Let's say you invest $300 annually from age 25 to 65 at 8% return. That's over 0.000 you're flushing away. Financial ignorance also leads to poor investment choices. Most people keep life savings and checking accounts earning 0.01% interest. Over 30 years, 0.000 becomes 0.030. But invested at 8%, 0.0627. That's a 0.000 gap. Not from income, but from knowledge. Schools don't teach this. Only 25 states require financial education in high school. So millions enter adulthood blind. Robert Kiyosaki says, the poor and middle class work for money. The rich make money work for them. Understanding assets versus liabilities, tax strategy, and cash flow separates the wealthy from everyone else. You get a raise. You upgrade your car, move to a nicer apartment, eat out more. That's lifestyle inflation, and it's the reason so many high earners still feel broke. Take Mark, a 35-year-old doctor earning 0.000 a year. Sounds rich, right? But he has $50,000 in student debt, a 0.000 BMW, a 0.000 monthly mortgage, and spends 0.000 a month on lifestyle. He's saving less than 10%. That means even at his income, he won't hit million in net worth until age 70, if ever. Compare that to Mr. Beast, who made millions but lived in a trailer while reinvesting everything. Or Warren Buffett, who still lives in the same $15,000 house he bought in 1958. Wealth isn't about how much you earn. It's about how much you keep. The average American spends 0.000 a year on dining out. That's $20,000 over a career, enough to buy a rental property. Netflix, subscriptions, Amazon. These small drains add up. If you increase your lifestyle every time you get a raise, you'll always feel broke. The rich increase their investments. You don't get rich by spending more. You get rich by spending less than you earn and investing the difference, consistently. Time is the most underrated wealth-building tool. Let's say Sarah starts investing 0 a month at age 25. At 8% annual return, by 65, she has 0.65 million. But John waits until 35 to start. Same 0 a month. He ends up with just 45,000. Sarah didn't save more. She just started 10 years earlier. That's the power of compounding. Now consider this. If you invest 0 at 20 and earn 8%, it becomes 69,000 by 65. But at 40, only 0.8. That 20-year difference costs you over 60,000. The stock market has returned about 10% annually over the long term. But most people only start investing in their 30s or 40s, if at all. And they panic sell during crashes, missing the rebounds. From 2009 to 2019, the S&P 500 returned 176%. Investors who stayed and doubled their money twice. But 55% of Americans don't own any stocks. They miss out completely. The wealthy don't time the market, they own it. Every dollar invested early is worth 10 later. That's math, not magic. Most people don't fail because of lack of money. They fail because of mindset. They believe money is evil, I'm bad with money, or I'll never be rich. These beliefs come from childhood, media, even parents. 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, not because they earn too little, but because they believe they can't break free. Fear keeps them in safe jobs. Doubt stops them from investing. One survey found that 60% of non-investors say they're not knowledgeable enough. But knowledge comes from action. The wealthy aren't smarter, they're bolder. They embrace calculated risk. When the 2008 crash hit, most panicked. But Warren Buffett bought. He invested $0 billion in companies like Goldman Sachs at rock-bottom prices. By 2011, he'd made $0 billion in profit. Fear is not your enemy, complacency is. Every millionaire you admire failed, doubted, and feared. But they moved anyway. Success isn't about confidence. It's about action despite fear. You don't need to be rich to start. You need to start to become rich. So how do you break into the top 5%? Step 1. Shift from employee to owner. Start a side business, buy dividend stocks, or invest in real estate. 0 a month in low-cost index funds grows to over 0 in 40 years. Step 2. Live below your means. Keep lifestyle inflation in check. Invest raises and bonuses, don't spend them. Step 3. Become financially literate. Read The Psychology of Money, Rich Dad Poor Dad, or watch free courses on Khan Academy. Step 4. Build multiple income streams. The average millionaire has 2.3 income sources. Think rental income, royalties, online courses. Finally, automate saving. Set up automatic transfers to investment accounts. Pay yourself first. Michelle, a teacher in Ohio, started investing 0 a month at 30. By 60, with 8% returns, she had 70,000, enough to retire early. You don't need luck. You need consistency. The top 5% aren't geniuses. They follow a system. If you're tired of the paycheck grind and ready to build real wealth, start today. Like this video if it opened your eyes, subscribe for more no BS finance tips, and comment, I'm in the 5% below. Your future self will thank you.